Marketing, entrepreneurship, and all things small business. You're listening to the Jurassic Marketing's Triceratops. Now, here's your host, Justin Miller.
Continuing the summer series.
Where's the cocktails?
Triceratops.
We need like
the umbrellas,
umbrella drinks, and cold beverages. Ice.
Well, it's too cheap to get them.
All right. Well, if you're listening to the audio only, imagine we both have a cocktail in our hand.
Hey, I got a Dunkin' iced beverage. Look at the condensation flowing off the.
That Dunkin's
outside.
been around since the last episode.
No, it has not. Yeah, it's just dripping right off there with cool, refreshing, low quality iced coffee.
Now the ice is melted, it's even more low quality.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes convenience wins.
That's right.
Today we're talking about being cheap.
Speaking of convenience, sometimes being cheap isn't good.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about cheap customers, and this is an important one. We're going through this a little bit here. Don't want to offend anyone listening, but I'll teach the lessons behind it.
There you go.
But a lot of businesses struggle with this, and always in retrospect, you're like, boy, that cheap customer that didn't want to pay, they ended up being the biggest pain in my butt and the hardest to serve, and they demanded the most, and I probably should have never had them. And this is normal. So, and it doesn't matter what price point, by the way. There's always a low end for whatever price point you're serving, and they always tend to, as a majority, be challenging and cause stress and complaints and issues. And our challenge here is they take up more human being time.
Yeah.
More customer service time. And, we hit a point that we were kind of tapped out for scale.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, do we replicate what we have? Like, in theory, can we double that and just double the head count? And ultimately, we made the decision that wasn't going to get us to where we wanted to go. So instead, we had to switch what we were doing to kind of prune back and weed out and try and replace and all the things that, like, are very difficult and stressful and a lot of work. But a lot of, like, especially newer business owners, they tend to get the clients by being cheaper. Like, I did it when I started.
You take what you can get. You want any business is good business at that point, especially maybe in today's economy where you're like, I got bills to pay, so I'll take whatever.
Oh, yeah. If you have stress on the other side, you got either a quota to hit if you're a salesperson or fixed expenses like we do. You start to be willing to let things slide through.
You tend to forget about all the effort that goes into keeping that client happy for that smaller amount of money because you just need the revenue.
Yeah, or you convince yourself that, oh no, it's cut and dry and it will make you...
It's not that bad after all.
And instead you get more stress, more customer service issues, refunds when it's all said and done.
Nobody likes that.
A micromanaging customer, they pay late, they complain, they wear out your team members. The cheapest clients, most expensive to serve.
Yeah, I agree.
At the end of the day. And they might not realize they're cheap in your world either. So this is where it's challenging. Rarely does a cheap client present themselves as a cheapskate.
True.
It's more in attitude and a behavior. And it's the other way around too. So if you study marketing to the affluent, they're buying on the higher end more about who they are than the offering itself. And it does work the other way at the bottom end of the scale as well. The cheap ones are buying down there about who they are, how they feel, or how they've trained themselves to buy, and then tend to be difficult to deal with. So let's talk about price shoppers. So it sounds like you have one on a house you're trying to sell.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I learned even early on, I think if I wasn't a business owner, I would have been highly offended by that offer. I'm like, it's $20,000 below offer. Well, ask. And the house is priced fairly. I didn't just pull a number out of the hat. We did the research. The marketers and the real estate guy did that. But yeah. And then they didn't, when I told him to counter with something slightly lower than, they decided not to even counter. We're in at this. Okay, well, you really don't want
Well, at least they didn't waste more time.
They didn't waste any time, so I can move on to the next one who's going to lowball me. But it's like, you're right. We didn't have to waste 3 hours back and forth.
Yeah, so that was a pleasant surprise, probably. I mean, obviously, you want
I fully expected him to come back like in increments of like $4,000, and I'd be like, "Could we just cut? What's the final? Let's cut right to it."
This is me selling my last used vehicle as well.
It's true,
and you start to get beat down if you end up with enough of the wrong appointments. You start like second guessing. You're like, regardless of what the logical research told you start to second guess. Well, maybe I should just settle for that and be done with this nonsense. And you really have to kind of put it all back in perspective, right? And on the other end of price shopping, I think I've mentioned before on here, I watch the delivered guy's business online who negotiates car deals for a living.
After that episode, I went and watched him. I'm like, what? It's like amazing to watch him work and how his whole system is. He's in the multi-million-dollar. I mean, it's crazy what his company does.
Yeah, and they're just that's all they do is call and negotiate because no one wants to deal with the headache.
Yeah.
No, that's on the buying side, and I assure you, on the selling side, and you can see the hate messages in the comments. On the selling side, they don't want to deal with it either.
Yeah, no.
I could argue either side, right? Hopefully, your particular product or service is not as commoditized. The auto came from the manufacturer, and the one on this lot is literally the exact same as it was 5 cars later on the line as the one on the other lot.
Exactly.
So hopefully you've isolated yourself from that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, they're comparing price quotes, constant negotiation. The one I hate the most is living in hypothetical land of if we did this, what would that cost?
Yeah.
If we did this, what are we trying to actually do here?
That only works if it's on an upsell. Like, with your old business.
We agree to this and?
Like, we'd like to do this, but we see you also do that. What if we added this or what if and that's rare. I mean, it's like usually you're right. They're like, well, what if can we get away without this leg of the tripod? Will it fall over if you take the... Yes, it will.
Yeah, good analogy. Yeah, I'd love to have the and discussion, but usually it's an or discussion.
True, yeah.
We do this, or this, or this, or what if we change the paper to this or the envelope to this? And
mm-hmm.
How about let's focus on what's going to create the most value and go backwards from there. So, I mean, one way to fix this is just premium pricing. You be a premium service provider. And that's the approach I took back in the wedding business.
Yeah.
There were enough premium buyers there that we eliminated most of those headaches. I don't want to say we eliminated them all.
Yep.
But by and large, when we move up the food chain on price point, and this is true of most industries, the clients become better to deal with. Now you got to have your stuff together.
True. You do it. You have to know your stuff because you will look stupid fast.
Yeah, you have to be good. You have to be worth it.
At the beginning, you have to be worth it. But it is, I learned that after owning your business for a while. Like, I'm like, 1 at 2,500 is way better than 4 at 600. It's like, there is a threshold where it is just easier to compete at that higher luxury level.
Yeah, insert your own metrics there. So if you red flagged on the dollar amounts, we had the same discussion about houses earlier today.
Yes.
If you're in the real estate world, you want to sell $1 million property a month, or do you want to sell 10 $100,000 properties a month? It's 10 times more work. I would argue it's 20 times more work. But yeah, if you are specialized, you're good at what you do, raising the prices is one way to weed them out and sticking to the prices. So behind the scenes, we have client tiers that are kind of in play. It says at X dollar amount or X service, you get X customer service expectations and things you wouldn't see.
Oh.
Like, we don't necessarily advertise those out front, but we've tiered where that line is of what you can get based on what
I hear
spend.
they're a little bit more white glove, like a little bit softer touch the higher up the ladder you go. We're gonna take, not that we don't we take them all seriously, but there are certain levels where you just get a little bit extra.
Well, yeah, and the challenge is everyone used to get that.
Okay.
So some are experiencing a shift in how they're served. And
because you decided that everyone shouldn't have always gotten that treatment?
I wouldn't word it that way. I'd word it as they can't going forward to get us to where we want to go to where we can serve the clients the way we want them to be served.
Yeah, that sounds way better than what I said.
So we want the high-end clients to be served at the highest level, which we couldn't do because we were serving the low-end clients at the same level.
Yeah. And which is taxing, exhausting, resource. It sucks all those things we talked about.
Well, yeah, and we have a finite amount of hours in a day, as all of you do. and my staff has a finite level of hours. So the question is, do we replicate what we have, or do we change how we're operating? And we decided to change how we're operating. And it is a painful evolution.
Has to be.
Because we're relearning internally and externally, and it changes our target client a little bit. It changes how we serve. Bottom line is, though, that the target client and our ideal customer avatar is going to be served a hell of a lot better than they were before.
Yeah, the end result is going to be well worth the growing pains.
They should get, not only do they get served in a better manner, but yes, the end result should be superior and more accountable than ever before. So the results will speak for themselves, and it's like me as a business owner putting my money where my mouth is. We're actually investing in serving them in that manner rather than learning how to talk like we are. Not that we were ever just out there BSing.
No, but that's a good point, where sometimes, because you get caught up in all of it, it could be easy to suddenly it's more words than action. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Or you did want to serve in that manner, but it wasn't like logistically feasible to do so.
Because you're getting drugged down to the lowest bottom common denominator because of the people that are like, I need this, and I need this, and I need this.
To be clear, in my world, what that looks like is increasing minimum quantities.
Yeah.
Taking longer duration campaigns, i.e. monthly recurring as opposed to one-off, and being able to serve and track and actually be part of our client's team, their marketing team, and hold the numbers accountable rather than talking like we are. And it's a shift.
Sure.
As a customer on the other side who hires marketing agencies, that's exactly what I want to see.
Yeah.
Double-edged sword. If you can't get the results, you're gone.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But should you be serving anyway if you can't get the results? Again, this is back to what I started when we started this. What I was saying is you got to have your stuff together.
Sure.
And then, the world is in harmony. The animals are walking 2 by 2. And,
sure.
But better client. Number one, you have better trust.
Okay.
Better experience, better results, better trust. The clients at the higher end of the spectrum, if we're just talking about spend amounts, they pay faster, they complain less, they refer others, they stay longer.
The perfect business.
Yeah, and I like to think as a buyer, I'm one of those clients. Now, on the other side, if you don't get the results, you're going to get eliminated faster.
Yeah.
But absolutely, on a higher end purchase where I have that trust level, I spend quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I let you do your thing. I trust your expertise.
Sure.
And I'm paying for the expertise.
Yeah.
And as long as you can prove that it's actually working, you're good to go. You're golden. I'll tell you, most of the agencies don't.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Some do. Some do.
Most
few
don't.
and far between. One of our customers and a good friend of mine is like, if you do a good job, the good news is I'm going to tell a lot of people. If you don't, I'm going to tell a lot of people.
Yeah.
And just telling them it is what it is. It's not saying, it's not like a threat. I'm going to bash your business, but I'm going to tell people what the results are.
Yeah. That's just being honest. You're right. Everyone is so sensitive too with like, how dare you tell me I have minimum quantities, or, how you want to raise the bar and bring me along without actually, I don't want to do that. I'd like to complain about your service. I want to lowball you.
But I want the results of the higher level.
I want the higher level results, but I really want to spend the t-shirt level to get the tuxedo.
Yeah. I want the outcome of mailing 10 times as much without the expense of mailing 10 times as much.
But isn't it scary, though, on the business end to be like, we need to cut those people out when they are generating some kind of revenue?
Oh, absolutely. We're in the middle of the fire right now on that. And pretty close to when this episode comes out, there's a post office price increase coming as well. So we have a natural price increase coming that has nothing in our pocket to do with it.
We need a ticker at the bottom that'll be like current postage rates.
Oh, it's like the cable news.
That's right.
I'm thinking like the COVID death counter. Is that what we had didn't we have that for a while?
Probably. Yes.
I think we did.
It's probably true. Well,
we probably shouldn't go that far, but.
But I mean, you're right. It is.
It's money to nobody. Like you're not going to get a better service out of the post office. I don't get to keep any more of it, and we have to deliver the bad news to everyone.
Sure. Yeah, but at the same time, it seems like it happens so often now. It isn't. You may wax for the days of like the 42-cent stamps when we were younger, but I mean, it's the cost of doing business. Do you really get a ton of backlash from clients who they have to know that you're not the one raising the rate?
Yeah, it doesn't matter though, because you have And as a customer, I have to look at the math then. Do I still come out ahead doing that? So yes, our clients that are doing well and have enough margin in their services,
True.
It's a blessing in disguise. No one wants to spend it, but it knocks out more competitors every time. And I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
So all in all, it can be fine. It can be a good thing. As a provider of direct mail services, those competitors might have also been my customers. So that's a challenge.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how we get the better customers or the more premium customers.
Premium just sounds better.
Yeah. Number one is if you're leading with price, you're causing it.
Just waiting to be
like if that's the promotion.
Yeah.
You got to lead with value. And this is something I continually have to go through in sales training too. Because the discussion starts coming down to price.
That's the thing. I think a lot of small business owners, especially someone who's not on the scale or the size of your business, they don't maybe know how to lead with value. So they lead with what they know. Yeah. They lead with price.
Well, it seems like it's easier.
Yeah,
it's not.
They don't realize what it's costing them in the back.
Even if you're at a premium service, it seems like it'd be easier to discount and bring a bunch of cash in. And sometimes it works. If you have a lot of like people sitting on the fence and like seasonal promotions, like our Black Friday thing, it can work. But it like as a repetitive tool, it can't. So I'm thinking like I subscribe to Woot.com's emails, Amazon's like discount blowout stuff. And I'll buy stuff on there, but I have zero loyalty to it whatsoever. It's like, okay, good price, got it.
Nope.
Do I feel bad next Monday if I don't buy something off it?
No. And I didn't know about Woot till you told me you bought some audio gear. Now I get their email and I immediately, 99% of the time it's gone, but all it takes is the one time I might actually want something, it'll be worth it.
But they've trained you that this is a bargain. You're looking for a bargain and you don't respond to everything else. True. It is a business model, by the way. It's probably one that small business owners can't win, though.
Yeah, that you just can't do enough volume.
No, it's Amazon closing out stuff that's not moving is what that is. If you're trying to build value, by the way, a few ways to do it include testimonials.
Say that again?
Study. No, you're going to edit that, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, because I thought we have a strict no edit policy.
No, we don't edit. Okay. So include more testimonials, case studies. Branding itself to an extent creates value. Be professional, but yet personal and authentic because it can't be copied. Include guarantees where appropriate and be the authority in your field. Like writing the book helps with that. We've talked about that on multiple podcasts, but perceived value helps bring the premium customer in. And then here's the tough one that no one wants to hear. Be willing to say no and not take the bad fit customer.
No, I'm losing all that money. I can't do it. Oh, my gosh.
This is also a discussion I have to have with sales sometimes.
How am I going to pay the bills?
They're trying to squeak something through that doesn't fit the guidelines. Mm-hmm. And I want them to fight for that. They don't always win. But if it doesn't meet the guidelines and the impact is disproportionate to what it brings in, I got to put my sales management hat on.
The longer you go through that process, the farther you get towards your ideal business, though, that should, in theory, slow down. There'll be less and less of that as you get.
Unless you're continually evolving and the target's changing.
Well, that too. That's true.
If only you could see the mountaintop and climb to it and there wasn't another mountain after.
Well, that's true too, yeah.
Like when I was on the Alaskan cruise, there's always another port and there's always another wave in the ocean.
Wow. You could that's we could start a company just for like really emotional sayings.
We could like the demotivational posters. What is it? Despair.com? Is that who sells
That's true. That actually
should sponsor us.
In today's world, that might work.
All right. Another way to do it is intentionally create friction and nuisance and annoyance for the bad customers. So we had a whole episode, right, on like reducing friction.
True. Like increase friction to fire your customer.
Yep. So this is the counterpoint. And I mentioned in that episode that my Dan Kennedy followers were like, we intentionally add steps and make this difficult. So here you are. Here's the counterpoint.
Okay.
And it's only to remove the bad buyers. So, the bad buyers want instant gratification, often very transactional, like, let's get this done. And if we add boundaries or we delay the sale and we don't like buy into their every immediate need, like they want to text after hours on the weekends, things like that, we got to put those boundaries in. It annoys them and they typically go away before they're a headache. So we kick them out of here.
You're gone.
Before they even come in and mess everything up. Because when they come in, they just shit all over the place.
Well, yeah, then they're like a bull in a china shop, and then you got to clean up all the broken glass.
Yeah, like if I hear a client name hit every department in the company.
Oh, that's bad.
So like, sales was having issues, then we moved it over to service. They're having issues, and then billing's having issues collecting from them. And guess what? Production, the artwork wasn't quite right. Okay, yeah, I heard this client name enough. And then it comes up again a couple months later.
Yep,
Hey,
you're getting flagged.
What's really going on here? All right, so sum this all up. The goal is not necessarily more customers. There's more than one way to grow here.
It's hard to hear.
The goal
it's true, though.
Yeah, it's better customers by your definition of better, not mine. You decide what's right for you, obviously, and then try and replicate those good ones.
Okay.
But growth at all costs is not usually the answer. It's like the drug for entrepreneurs and visionaries. We want that growth. I do too. We have some aggressive top line revenue goals that we took a step back from in order to help us get there. But it slowed it down, and it does drive me nuts.
It's like a detour.
As a visionary entrepreneur.
Road closed, go this way. It's an extra 12 miles around the lake.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. So,
without a gas station to fill up on the way.
I need the charger.
That's true. We don't even need one.
So the right clients grow the business. The wrong ones make you want to quit working in it or sell it. Dan Kennedy also used to say, if I could just get a bunch of business owners in a room, they all think that their business is terrible and the other one's great. I could just get them all to trade businesses and take a cut of that. We'd be good. True. So there's no perfect business. We get it. So look at your current customer base, figure out who's creating the most stress, who creates the most profit. Are they the same person? Probably not. So yeah, best customers, usually someone bad's in the way of them. Got to get rid of them to see them. Got to do it on a little bit of faith, a little bit of system, a little bit of faith, and a lot of persistence. Nothing's easy about all this. That's why we do the podcast. We can, do the therapy for small business owners. So if you want your therapy session, reach out. We will get you on as one of our guests.
Schedule your therapy session now. No insurance required.
I feel we need a disclaimer again on this episode.
Jeez, we have any lawyers in the audience, please?
Yeah.
Where's our hometown lawyer? Maybe he could help us.
We'll bring him back in.
That's true.
All right. So there you go. Burn the bad ones down, in with the good ones. But to the vision of what you're trying to accomplish and the people you want to work with at the end of the day, assuming they're profitable for you. Back with more summer fun next week.
Ooh, summer fun on the way.
Thanks for listening to the Triceratops podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave your comments. For more information on how Jurassic Marketing Direct Mail can help grow your business, visit JurassicMarketing.com.